Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing a third video. I'm just doing like videos like they're going out of style lately. So this video is about Michael Moore's recent statement about repealing the Second Amendment, and I think personally that it's pure idiocy. And this is even coming from a guy that I believe in some common sense gun control. Not as far into that as like some of the people I watch on YouTube. I don't think that people should necessarily like, and obviously there's like semantics about what an automatic weapon is or semi-auto or whatever, but I believe in background checks to a certain extent and stuff. Of course, who controls that, especially with how our world is going, I don't know. That's another question we need to ask. But so I just saw this. I saw this thing from Michael Moore. And I'm just like, well, I've seen more and more of this kind of thing from the left lately anyways. Like, oh, maybe the First Amendment isn't so great, or maybe the Second Amendment. It's like, okay, there's a difference between deconstructionism and, historical, not revisionism, but, like trying to like get to the bottom of things and trying to change things in a certain way. But repealing the Second Amendment, I am very opposed to. Now, America is an exception to a lot of these things that happen in the world as far as our laws and our freedoms that we have, and that includes the Second Amendment. As much as like growing up as certain parental figures try to say, "Oh, guns are bad," it's like at this point in time in our society, I don't see any choice but for people to have guns. Because, and I'm not talking about crime or anything like that. I mean, the governments have gotten so creepily, insidiously authoritarian. It's like a slow, like, what do they call it? The totalitarian tiptoe is a certain guy who talks about reptilian creatures. I'm trying to do that reference, but I don't think that we should repeal the fucking Second Amendment. It's just extremism personified. I don't, at this juncture, I think as many people, responsible gun owners, should keep their guns as much as possible, because I don't like the way things are going, like in what happened in Australia, what happened in China, what is happening in China right now. And this is related to what I've talked about a lot on this channel, but I do not like this concept of a government in these countries having all the guns in this situation. Now, Northern Europe, like, oh yes, we don't have guns, whatever. It's like, all right, that's been great, that's fine. In those situations, and if our society was healthier and our governments were less corrupt, maybe I would be like, okay, well, we could repeal the Second Amendment at this point. We're a peaceful, docile nation. We're not doing anything that crazy. Our government is not spying on us. We're very, there's a lot of accountability going back and forth. But to me, repealing the Second Amendment is just insane. It's like Trudeau banning handguns. It's like just a fucking, and I think it's because Michael Moore, I know he did that documentary that was really controversial with the neoliberals, which I laugh at, and I support him in that situation. He did that. I forgot what it was called, the recent documentary. But Michael Moore, he hasn't had as much clout lately, hasn't as much fame. So, he's kind of a provocateur at times, and he's, to be an edgelord, he'll say, "Let's repeal the Second Amendment," So I guess I attribute it to that. I think it's a stupid idea. Like I said, I believe in some gun control. I'm not like a fucking extreme NRA person. I mean, the thing is that there's people that guns have been around for so many years. These recent shootings, whatever is involved with that, they are an exception to the rule. But guns have been around. They used to be automatic weapons back in the day, and obviously the crime's done with them. But if you really, guns are just these gun violence is just a symptom of other things, and that's if our society is breaking down that much, banning guns, obviously will cause less. There's so many guns out there. I don't even know if it would cause anything or there'll be any less violence because there's so many guns out there. Do I support gun buyback programs? I don't. I mean, if that's an alternative to banning guns, maybe that's okay. But I think this whole notion, and 3D printers are getting better too. 3D printing, and people are able to like make different things at their house. And I don't want to take away 3D printers or spying everybody and seeing if they're fucking designing some like adjustment to their gun to make it semi-auto or whatever. That would be ridiculously totalitarian, authoritarian. So anyways, that's what I have to say about that. I think it's fucking ludicrous. I think it's not going to help. What is he trying to do by saying we should repeal the Second Amendment? I mean, he's trying to help himself. He's trying to like, oh, look at my take. Oh, it's crazy. It's wow. You should talk about it. But it's so stupid. I think it's so dumb, and that's even coming from someone that has some beliefs in gun control to some moderate extent, and you need to look at other things. But guns, are shot by people who have a situation in their life, and if our society was better, if our society was healthier, you wouldn't have shootings, you wouldn't have suicides, you wouldn't have all this stuff happening. So that's about all.